1.5 million people have poured through the gates of Expo 86 since opening day.
And as the holiday season approaches, they're coming from further and further away.
Hi, I'm Wayne Cousins.
And I'm Ramona Marr.
This week on World Stage 86, the China Pavilion, one of the biggest and most popular at Expo.
We'll visit the smallest pavilion. We'll make that one a surprise.
We'll tour the Expo Land Plaza, and we'll take to the air with a tribute to the DC-3.
And we'll show you what goes on after dark at the 86th Street Nightclub.
But first, an attraction that can't help but be a winner, the RCMP musical ride.
The fabled scarlet tunic. Lots of military precision. Spit and polish. Every hair in place. Dirty work, too. A real man's world, but not anymore. Meet Constable Sherry Coumont, one of 2 female RCMP musical riders performing at Expo.
I've always loved horses, and I wanted to learn to ride. And this was the best opportunity. Like, I didn't know how to ride. I sat on one, but I didn't know what to do once I was on it.
What went through your mind when you were accepted for the ride?
Joy. No, I had wanted it ever since I joined the force. So for 4 years, every year I asked for it. So it took 4 years, well, 3.5 years it took me before I got the ride. So I was very, very happy.
And now that you're in it, what is it like?
Oh, I love it. Love it. It's a great experience, something that I wouldn't trade for anything.
Sherry, what kinds of steps do you go through to prepare for the ride?
Well, on a day like today, we have a performance at 1 o'clock. That's our first performance. So we usually get in here at 11, so 2 hours before the show. And for an hour and a half, we clean our tack up. We polish our boots, polish our gauntlets, clean the horses up, tack up the horses. And that takes an hour and a half, a good hour and a half, and dress.
Got to ask you what it feels like to get into this red tunic, this very famous red tunic.
It's a good feeling. It changes you. It really does. Once you get into it, you feel like somebody. I don't know what it is, but it feels good.
Everything works to a split-second schedule. A 20-minute warm-up, a detailed inspection, and then off to the Kodak Pacific Bowl for the performance at 1 o'clock sharp. Sherry, what is it like when you're out there on the field and you're actually into a routine?
At first, I get very, very nervous until we actually start. And then you just forget about everything because I find that I have to concentrate on what I'm doing. Things don't always go the way you want them to go. You can have a really good day where everybody feels up and the horses are going really well. And then some days you just can't seem to get it together. But that doesn't happen very often.
The RCMP musical ride will be in residence at Expo right through the fair. There's no question about the ride's popularity with audiences. It's always been a crowd pleaser right across Canada. And if anything, it's an even bigger hit with the visitors. Definitely a 5-star attraction. For World Stage 86, I'm Ramona Marr.
There are some parts of Expo that seem to have a magnetic attraction for adults, kids, and cameras. One of them is the Land Plaza. It also attracted Bill Dobson.
The Land Plaza is just a place to look at, sit on, and touch vehicles of the past and present from all over the world. And why do people flock here? Look for yourself. I did. Pardon me, could I have a vanilla? Oh. All aboard for Hong Kong. Hey, I just want to tell you, you guys are a hazard to traffic. You know, you're in and out all the time. From the Fun Plaza, Land Plaza, for World Stage 86, I'm Bill Dobson.
Still ahead on World Stage, China shows off its old and its new. The Goonie birds gather for Expo, and we'll visit Expo's smallest pavilion.
1, 2, 3, right. What an amazing feat! Unbelievable, boy!
The United difference? As an installer, I see it as convenience. Unlike many companies, I can be part of the package. One-step service, purchase to installation, no hassle, no hidden cost.
How do you get to the French Pavilion at Expo? Well, one way is on the SK People Mover. It's a series of small, comfortable cars that go from the center of the main concourse to the entrance of the pavilion. But that's not the story. This is a demonstration project to sell the SK system to airports and supermarkets to take people from parking lots to the main centers. There's one in operation in France, and the SK people say it's the cheapest automated transport system in the world. Here at Expo, it's just like another of the entertainment rides. Oh, here we go.
If you're not already aware of it, Expo 86 is the first World's Fair to bring together the big three world powers: the United States, the Soviet Union, and the one we're about to visit, China.
And I can't believe it's you, I can't believe it's true. I needed you, and you were there.
Look out, Anne Murray. Is this a sample of the China we've come to expect? Or is it more like this? These are just a few of the performers China put on stage for its National Day at Expo. It's a surprising blend of the country's past and present, and indicative of what's in store at China's pavilion. The People's Republic of China Pavilion is one of the largest on site, which also translates into some pretty large crowds. But if you've got a bit of patience, you stand to learn a lot about one of the oldest civilizations on Earth. The Chinese exhibit takes us all over time. Modern-day achievements are proudly displayed here, but they're no match for innovations of the past. This 9-masted vessel belonged to the great Ming Dynasty explorer Zheng He, who sailed almost a century before Magellan and Columbus. And there's a model of a 2,000-year-old bronze chariot that came to light only 6 years ago. You can even touch a bit of the Great Wall. I may never wash my hands again. And if you're hankering to see a bit of Chinese art and culture, look no further. That's here too. Pavilion Deputy Commissioner General Liu Jinghai explains through his interpreter.
Besides the communication equipment, we also bring some China culture, arts and crafts, yes. We just want to people know the Chinese culture and the traditions. Also, we bring some workers to make a demonstration on the side. We just make the visitor have a deeper impression for China culture and the arts crafts, the technology. Yeah.
Talented artisans at work, you might be tempted to take a souvenir home with you. China at least hopes so, which explains its well-stocked gift area. But whether it's a souvenir or a memory you take home, there's one message the Chinese would like to convey.
希望您能喜欢中国馆.
Which means we hope you've enjoyed the China Pavilion. For World Stage 86, I'm Ramona Marr.
Years ago, a single airplane changed the course of air travel. It was the Douglas DC-3. Last week, Expo staged a flying salute to that great airplane, and Cam Cathcart was there.
When 23 of the aging Goonie birds were displayed on the flight line at Abbotsford last week, the event attracted hundreds of airplane fans and curious former pilots and crew members. Perhaps their feelings are best summed up by Herb Patience of New Westminster.
These are beautiful aircraft, and I have a lot of fond memories of the time that I was in them because I enjoyed my time in the RCAF. And to see so many of these together today, it's just unbelievable. They're still flying because they were a beautiful aircraft. They had a lot of what it takes to stay up there with the number of hours that you see posted on all of them. It's fantastic.
Roger, just turning base.
It's nice to see so many people out today because well, there's a lot of history to these aircraft. They've done things all over the world that no other aircraft will ever do because they were a working man's plane too in civilian life.
All the aircraft taking part in the DC-3 Armada were built during the Second War. Most of them took part in various theaters of that war. The Burma Hump, D-Day, the Italian Campaign, and later the Berlin Airlift. While the DC-3 is still earning its keep, colors and owners have changed many times. Even the DC-3's appearance has been altered somewhat. This is a Pinocchio version, used by the Canadian Armed Forces for jet pilot training. But it's getting tougher to keep them flying, because as the years pass, replacement parts for the DC-3 become more difficult to find.
Okay, Quebec Charlie, will be fine. Your separation, visual separation, reference turbulence, and all stations back. Actually, Hotel Charlie, give me a call when we're ready. Okay.
Still, the Armada over Expo proved again the legendary attraction of the plane. There are still more than 70 DC-3s active in Canada and about 300 in the U.S. When the first Douglas DC-3 was introduced 50 years ago, its speed, design, and economics was crucial to its success. Those factors keep the DC-3 flying today, along with a little TLC. I'm Cam Cathcart for World Stage 86.
The largest national pavilion at Expo 86 belongs to Japan. In fact, it's the largest ever at any World's Fair. But what's the smallest? Fred Garbo wins that distinction by a country mile.
You know, they say the food is so good here, then how come everyone keeps giving it to me? There you go. This is Expo the smallest pavilion, but certainly not the least in intention. This maybe has some of the richest entertainment going. The juggling's coming up. I'm sorry, there's no bathrooms. I really apologize. You can't have everything. Take it easy. Don't be so pushy. There's no lines at this pavilion, and there's no bathrooms. Look at all these people looking at garbage. We love it. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for the opening of the smallest pavilion on site, Garbo's Garbage Pavilion. You were here first, and you're watching it. I don't know why, but they're still around. That's great. Boy, this thing has everything. This pavilion even has a little courtesy, you know, you just can't miss. Some of the things you need when you're a pavilion are very specific, you know. Some of the things, oh, careful, just back up for a second. Yes, you with the face, you in the red. Would you get that for me, please? Can you read first, though, before you touch it? What's it say?
Do not touch.
What were you going to do?
Touch it.
Oh, boy, well, you look pretty stupid standing out here in the middle of it. Maybe you can do this. Maybe if you walk slowly backwards, no one would have noticed. Okay, go for it. The smallest pavilion also has one of the greatest films. Would you like to see the film? Yeah. Oh, come on, this is Expo hype. You have to get into the mood. Yeah. It's a very brief film, okay, so don't blink or you'll miss it. Everybody cross your eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, for the first time ever, a 4D film. Oh. Man, Tony likes that, and he's part of the show. What do you think? Oh, come on, what do you expect from trash? Do you want to help me for a sec? Yes, you're feeling the pink, okay? Would you come here for a sec? Okay, this is harder than, look, just grab my foot and don't tickle. No, cut it out. Grab both hands, both hands. Okay, one hand right here on my instep right there. Okay, better back up, better look out. She's going to pull this thing hard. Pull it. 1? No, on 3. 2, 3. Get it, pull it. Oh, my gosh, an amazing feat. Give her a hand. What a feat, an amazing feat. That was great. Look at her have that thing there. Why don't you just put it right down here at the ground? What a feat. Nice job.
What about your other one?
Well, I'll leave it where it is, okay? No, don't bug me, don't bug me, don't bug me. Hang on. Well, before we pop it out of here, I'd like to do a quick impression. This is my impression of The Exorcist. Whoa, thanks, she liked it. Boy, she goes to that cheap stuff. That's good. Okay. Yahoo! All right. Whoa, it's a midget. What'd you think? Well, folks, let me see. He hops up and out. Oh. After being in a can for half an hour, let's see if you can do anything. All right. Yeah. Well, I think I might have to do some artistic juggling first to appease my soul. Is that all right? You can have both, okay? And all you have to supply are the oohs and the ahs. Oh, they want the fancy stuff. Okay, here we go. Boy, they want that big finish, you know, that big fancy one. The full turn, the catch, and the smile. Oh, sure, they don't go for the cheap stuff like the impressions of a horse or anything like that, no. Well, what's your name?
Charlie.
Right. Well, that's 1 out of 2. That's not bad. How do you spell spot? We'll give you one more chance.
S-P-O-T.
What do you do when you come to a green light?
Stop. You don't stop at the green light.
Oh, Charlie. You got that one wrong, too, but you can tell by the crowd that a lot of people were right there with you. Don't worry about it. You just witnessed the smallest pavilion here. I come all the way from Maine, and they let me do this. Do you believe it?
Coming up on World Stage, Expo Nightlife. How they party when the sun goes down.
The other evening, I discovered a young couple from Austria dressing up for a wedding. They were to have their photograph on the cover of Bride and Groom magazine. Only for them, of course. There's a place at Expo near the Alberta Pavilion where you can have your picture taken for a one-time cover of a famous magazine. The people there supply all the costumes and props you might need and get you set for the cover photo. In the evening, young people are clamoring for this souvenir of Expo. It's only $14.95 for the whole works, and you get your picture a few minutes later. There are sports mags, fashion mags, Playboy, and many more. and a poster type for Expo or Sesame Street. It's such a unique souvenir that it lures all types in for a photo session. The bride and groom were happy, and the World News Man of the Year was also pleased.
The pavilions close, Expo doesn't stop. Far from it. In fact, for some people, the fun is just beginning.
The Tower of Power!
Battlestar Galactica invades a Lionel Richie Pepsi commercial. Non-stop live entertainment and non-stop partying. Welcome to 86th Street.
Down to the
Best place to meet if you want to have a good time. Come down here.
It's the people.
The light show is really incredible.
It's a great time.
Yeah. It's got a big lineup, so it's got to be.
Fantastic. I love it here. I've been down here every week since I arrived.
I like the drinks here. The glowing straws.
And what makes it glow?
Something special the bartenders put inside.
If you had a 1 out of 10 rating for Expo 86, what would it be?
11.
Great night on the town. Grab some friends and come on down to 86th Street. You never know who you might meet. Next week on World Stage 86, another full slate of Expo features, including the delights of Indonesia.
Bill Dobson takes us on a tour of some of Expo's more offbeat restaurants.
And we'll travel the entire length of the Expo site in a most unusual way.
Those stories and more next week from right here on the Expo site in Vancouver.
For World Stage 86, I'm Wayne Cousins.
And I'm Ramona Mars. See you at Expo.